New one's on. We're going back around to see it. So that one that's on there now, the analog, I assume somebody's going to be coming to read it now, right?
They have to.
Yeah.
You may not see them. Like I say, if they can come over, they'll read it over the fence or something like that, maybe.
No, they used to come through our thing before, but he used to give me a robocall.
A robocall?
Robocall
What's
on the
that?
phone. I used to get a robot call saying,
Oh,
FPNL will be coming to read your meter, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
They're probably not doing that ananymore, right? Because now they have
No, they probably are, because like I say, I couldn't say for sure, because
so I'll have to
there's
call
not a whole lot of
it.
these out there that we have to go out and read. There's a few, and we still read the commercial accounts. So.
Oh, the commercial ones don't have the SmartMeter yet?
No.
How come?
They're testing the system in Miami, I believe, right now.
Huh. How are theirs different from what we get?
Well, what we get is a single phase 120, 240 meter. The commercial stuff that I'm talking about is 3-phase, could be anything from all the way up to 200, 277, 480 volts.
He's going to go back and snatch one of those baby ducks. That's what they do, yeah. Where's the NAN in the neighborhood? I mean, all these houses send a signal to something.
Yeah,
and then it
I'm not
sends
sure
to
where the
FPNL.
antenna is. It's on a pole somewhere. I don't know where it is exactly.
I'll be curious to know where that is.
If you drive around, you'll see them.
Oh, are they obvious?
How far are we from? Yeah, they're the antenna. You know.
The main station's right over there.
It might be right
the
there.
Substation.
It could be over that way somewhere. But it's on the pole, and it's an antenna about that long coming out of a gray box. Okay. And they're mounted on, believe it or not, mount them on street lights. You'll see, I've seen them on regular poles, like out on Flamingo Road, in apartment buildings. And
so how do they decide which house to put the collector meter on? Because I understand some are single-phase meters, and then one house will have the collector meter.
Correct.
And then that goes, how do they decide which house gets the collector meter?
Engineering does that. And it's actually, it's the same meter. Like if it's in your neighborhood like this and it's not on a pole, it's a box thing they put on the meter. But most of the times that you see that on the house, you won't see that on the house. You'll see that in an apartment building where it'll be in.
So it wouldn't be on like one of my neighbors' houses.
We're not gonna go hang an antenna.
Because they say those pulse more often than the one that was on my house.
If they wanted to hang an antenna and all of that stuff on my house, they'd have to pay me. I'll just tell you that straight up.
Okay.
But the company will get back with you with the results of the test.
Yeah, she told me she's going to test the meter, let me know, and then I have an energy survey guy coming in January. Because we just cannot figure out why, when we're taking things off the electric grid, why are bills going up?
Yeah, well,
it just doesn't make sense.
Essentially, though, your hot water heater and your, it's not your pool pump. What do you have out there?
The only thing still on the electric that I consider the offenders are the air conditioning and the pool pump. He had that replaced while I was out of town, 2005.
Yeah, so the SEER is probably, I think back then the SMAC SEER was probably only about 12 SEER. See, I have a 12 SEER on my house, and my house probably is about the same, maybe a little less square footage than this, and I'm hurting too during the summer, huge, because of that AC. And
it's because of what part on the AC? What can I change to make it more energy efficient?
Well, to go more energy efficient is more than likely it's the whole unit, but the compressor efficiency is what's huge. If you can get them up to 15, 16 SEER, it costs a little more.
Yeah, well, yeah, but the savings down the road.
Right, yeah, and as far as like
Yeah, she tried to tell me on the phone. She said, well, your energy's higher in the winter because, you turn on the heat. Or no, in the summer because you turn on the
air conditioning.
AC. And I said, no, that's what's odd about our bills. Our bills are higher in the winter than in the summer. And for one, we don't use the AC all that much. We use ceiling fans. And if the AC is on, we set it to 75. And we don't use the heat in the winter, ever. I haven't run the heater in this house in
I don't use the heat either.
5
I only
years.
live down the street from me. I live right off of Flamingo.
Yeah, you don't need to. So why would my bills be higher in the winter than they are in the summer?
I don't use the heat. I can tell you that. We don't ever use the heat in my house. My winter bill runs...
So you're close to me. You should have a similar bill. Our bills were averaging...
I don't have a pool, though.
We averaged between $150 and about $180 every month. As soon as they put this on, $500 a month. My bill is now $500 a month.
Well, you got to remember, and
I took the hot water heater off it and the pool
Did they
heating.
take an analog meter out of here? Was that what was in here? Depending on that meter, it could have been that meter's been reading slow for a long time.
So the old meter was...
I have seen that where those old analog meters, sometimes, it may have been here. I mean, I had friends that moved into this neighborhood when it was first built, and
80s.
I want to say early 80s.
Yeah, 80s, 81, 82.
Exactly. So, you're looking at a 25-year or 20-something-year-old meter that may have been running a little bit slow. And it was in your favor at that point.
Well, this was after we put on the solar hot water too, because the reason we did it, they analyzed our bills and said, look, we can save you money with the solar hot water. It's a big sales pitch they do. So I went, well, okay, I've been meaning to go solar anyway. Let's just do it. So I did it. And sure enough, the electric bills went from $300 a month, that's what they were, down to $150. And we were like, hooray, yay, it worked. And then a couple months later, they came and put this thing on the house. And boom, right up to $500 as soon as they put the meter on the house, and I'm going.
Well, they'll test it, and if they're wrong, they'll obviously credit you.
I hope we get some kind of rebate, or credit to the account or something.
Absolutely, they're not going to take your money.
Yeah,
I promise you that, because if there's something wrong with the meter, they'll definitely make it right.
Okay.
You didn't lose your money. I mean, FPL wants you guys, the customer to be right with them. So, obviously they're going to do the same thing for you. If there's something wrong with the meter, they do tell you.
Well, I have no doubt down the line that's probably going to make a return visit to my house. But I'm hoping at that point everything's modernized. We still have old appliances, we have old wiring. We haven't done anything to this house. I changed the refrigerator because the refrigerator's from the 1960s. But other than that,
I've done all my appliances and everything except the AC. And actually, I'll probably do the AC in January or February next year, because that's when they start coming down in prices and all of that.
Watch him, teenage driver.
Yeah, where's he go to school?
BC.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
my son.
Everyone's doing that now. It's the way to save money. You do your first 2 years at BC, and then you transfer into the school you want. And it makes sense to me. Why should you pay for 4 years of the high-priced $30,000 a year school when you can pay them a third of the price?
I've been paying for him, for the last 3 years at St. Thomas, so.
Oh, then you're forking out. Wow.
About $10,000 a year, maybe a little more, 11,000. But we'll see. Yeah, like I said, as far as the solar goes, I mean, to get the huge benefits of a solar system, you really have to go.
You have to do the whole house, and that's what we want to do, but right now it's too expensive.
And the whole thing about it is that once you do it, to pay yourself back, they're so expensive. By the time you, make that money back in savings, you probably moved out of this house.
The way they rationalize it in their head is, it takes me 10, 15 years to get savings, but I'm doing a good thing for the environment.
Yeah, you are definitely doing a good thing for the environment.
Well, the thing that doesn't make any sense to me is we live in Florida. It's called the Sunshine State.
Yeah.
So why, instead of investing a whole lot of money in this smart grid, smart this, smart that, why didn't they do a statewide solar energy program? I don't understand this. We live in Florida.
They did build, I believe there's 2 solar plants right now in Florida. There's one in...
Because I heard
one up around Stewart, and I think there's one inland.
And that's for residential consumers?
Yeah.
They get power from that?
Well, I don't know that it comes right to here, but it generates electricity into our grid.
Okay.
But that's...
Because I would rather have paid for that. It makes sense. It's free.
It's huge. But, then again, there's folks that FPL was, I think it was off of Stewart or Jupiter, a little north of Jupiter. The way the winds blow in that area is a huge. It's beneficial for wind generation, and they wanted to put
a wind farm
right off the coast, and people.
I'm not crazy about
that. They want to do all of that.
They're not only ugly. I've seen them overseas in Europe. They're ugly. It doesn't make a difference. There's a huge
they're in the Midwest.
But they can birds. They fly into them.
Yeah, they own actually Next Era Energy, who owns FPL. they're the largest generating company
Yeah.
in the country, and they own wind farms,
I just don't
solar
see why they
farms.
didn't do a bigger solar. Because even putting that, the water heater in the house, we only get a $500 rebate from state.
Yeah. FPL didn't give you a rebate?
There was nothing. I don't believe so.
Well, FPL will give you a rebate for air conditioning. FPL are for your AC, and I believe there's a federal rebate also.
If you upgrade it,
If you upgrade your AC
okay.
unit, yeah.
Well,
You're the guy that comes out to do the energy survey and all of that stuff. He'll be able to help you out with all of that. He'll be able to help you out with there's insulation programs and all of that kind of stuff.
That I know we need to do. It's old and there's animals that have been in it. So.
FPL will help with that a little bit too, I believe. So we'll be able to help you with all of that stuff.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Anything else?
Don't think so. That'll do me for now. I appreciate it.
Not a big deal.
For right now, we're happier with this until I can get some more information and see if I need to do stuff on my end, your end.
Like I said,
wait for some more studies. That's the other thing. There's no long-term studies on the. They say yes. Okay, this is the same, less, more. It depends on who you talk to. Is your cell phone?
Exactly.
The signal depends on who you talk to. That's all fine and good. If that was the only thing in my house actually emitting RF, they don't take into consideration cumulative. You have lots of it in your house. If you have a Wi-Fi,
microwave,
cell phone,
sure.
Microwave, you start adding up everything in the house, and then you add one more. It's like, what is the tipping point, in terms of health and safety? I want to know.
Right.
And
I don't know where you can find that information out. I mean, all FPL is going to do is look at, okay, well, this is what we got, and then I guess how you would add all that up and measure. Maybe they got a tool you can measure.
Well, even PG&E finally had to back down. They said theirs was like 1 gigahertz or something, the wattage, 1 something, and they just admitted on Monday they were wrong. It's actually 2.2.
Yeah. Well.
So, but that's what I'm saying. Everything is uncertain. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, it's new technology, and that's the way everybody's moving. So
I know.
I guess if you find out after the fact, or
we're going to be called old crabby people who don't like change. And it's not that. I need more information.
You're not the only one, believe me.
I need more information.
These meters. I've installed properly in the last month and a half. Probably, not a lot, but 4 or 5.
The analog meters?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I got the impression I was the first because they were not happy about it when I asked.
No, you're not the first. I'll be honest with you there. I have installed them. Why do you think I have one on my truck?
Okay.
Well, and I will tell you this, that none of the other metermen in this area had that meter on their truck.
She told me that when I called the first time, and I wasn't sure whether she was just saying
that's
that
the truth.
or,
I can tell you right now that they pulled me from, I was working up Sunrise, Tamarack area.
Well, you know why they told you.
No clue.
I called my state rep, and my state rep called your boss this morning.
Oh, good. Well, it is what it is. Because my boss told me to come, and he wanted me here in an hour.
Oh, thank you. You've been very helpful. Thank you.